When we hear the word Dubai, most of us think of the tall buildings, police with Lamborghinis, seven-star hotels with the wealthiest individuals inside, the Palm Islands, the World Islands, the Burj Khalifa, the Burj Al Arab, and other futuristic icons of extraordinary wealth as something our ancestors 100 years ago could only imagine in a sci-fi film. It is almost unimaginable that this captivating city used to be just a small fishing village. It almost appears like a storybook that a minor settlement in a very inconvenient climate zone could transform into one of the world's biggest business and financial centers. So how did Dubai get so rich? Well, many people might believe that it's due to oil, but that is not true, because oil only represents less than 1% of Dubai's GDP. The city of Dubai is a remarkable feat of engineering, but it comes at a cost that many people are unaware of. The magnificent city that you have seen was built with blood, sweat, and tears of workers. Every year, thousands of workers die in Dubai. So what is the reality behind the glamour and luxury, the genuine face of Dubai, and how did Dubai manage to overcome its reliance on oil to become one of the wealthiest cities in the world? To understand Dubai's transformation from a fishing village to a major metropolis, we need to look at its history. The early history of Dubai dates back to 1095. At that time, it was a small fishing village. The main source of income for the people was from selling fish, but this changed in 1590 when they began to trade pearls. Dubai became known for the exceptional quality of its pearls, and they were heavily dependent on it. In the 19th century, the British East India Company formed an alliance with local sheikhs, primarily with the Al Maktoum family, to assist Dubai's pirates, who had been causing difficulties for British businesses. In exchange, the UK government agreed to take responsibility for the security of the emirate. Despite the UK's lack of interest, Dubai was becoming increasingly important in the region. In 1900, the current ruler declared that no taxes would be charged on traders, and soon Persian and Indian merchants began to visit the city. The city was also suitable for trading due to Dubai Creek, a saltwater canal that enabled trading vessels to traverse from the Gulf straight into the city. As a result, Dubai quickly became the largest trading center on the Persian Gulf. In the early 20th century, Dubai became a major center for pearl diving, which attracted even more merchants to the city every year. The pearl industry became so large that it soon accounted for 95% of the Persian Gulf economy. However, Dubai was still a large village at this time. If you look at it from a geographical perspective, Dubai has been strategically placed for international trade. In 1903, the sheikhs convinced the British government to build a port in Dubai for trading purposes, which was a major boost to the city's business. During its early years of development, Dubai heavily relied on revenue from the pearl trade. However, this industry was dealt a blow in the 1920s when fake pearls began to enter the market, and again in the 1930s with the Great Depression and the outbreak of World War II. This led to a severe loss of trade networks and widespread poverty in Dubai. Things began to turn around when Sheikh Rashid became ruler in 1959. After touring Europe and being greatly impressed by cities like London, Sheikh Rashid set out to modernize Dubai. He aimed to improve urban design, transport, and overall convenience and comfort for residents. In 1960, Sheikh Rashid began executing his remarkable vision of transforming Dubai into a global city, which included the establishment of the first airport and the deepening of the Dubai Creek to make way for larger vessels. In the 1960s, with the support of the British, new trade opportunities arose, the trade of gold. Gold would be brought to Dubai, first before being exported to other markets. It is estimated that 75% of the total gold market was imported from Dubai to India, and this is why Dubai is known as the City of Gold. Dubai eventually discovered oil in its own coastal area in 1966. Many people believe that having oil reserves automatically makes a country rich and powerful. However, this is not always the case. For example, Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world but is currently experiencing extreme economic turmoil. Sheikh Rashid was happy with the oil business, but he knew it wouldn't last forever. The real challenge was to build a business that would bring fortune to Dubai without depending on oil. He didn't want Dubai to go back to the poverty of the past, so he planned for a vision of the future. Until then, Dubai was just a trading mediator. He wanted to change this and make it a destination instead of just a connecting point. Sheikh Rashid saw the potential for gold in the tourism industry. To succeed in tourism, he knew that he had to convince the world that Dubai was the best place to visit, stay, and work. That's where storytelling came into picture. The story was that we will make Dubai the world's leading tourism destination and commercial hub. The master plan was to convert Dubai into an amazing place. So Sheikh Rashid knew that they had to recreate it and get noticed by the luxury world. Sheikh Rashid needed a lot of money to develop Dubai. The oil revenue and the creation of the rial, a new currency with the newly independent state of Qatar, enabled him to expand and develop Dubai quickly. He invested the oil revenues in building the city's infrastructure. He hired a team of British experts who were consulting him on further steps, and there was a construction boom that brought a massive influx of foreign workers, mainly Asians and Middle Easterners. Between 1968 and 1975, the city's population grew by over 300%. Meanwhile, in 1971, the British government ended its treaty relationships with the 7 trucial sheikdoms, resulting in the formation of the United Arab Emirates. The UAE is a federation of 7 emirates, which are Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al-Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah, and Fujairah. These emirates are autonomous states that work within the federation. Sheikh Rashid started identifying the most important strains of Dubai that could be leveraged to build a diversified economy. The first thing he noticed was the strategic location of Dubai. This 35 kilometers southwest of Dubai was a very important location for world trade because Dubai was so strategically located that it could give unparalleled access to some of the most important regions in the world both through sea and air. Sheikh decided to take on a project called the Jebel Ali Port, which began operation in the late 1970s. The Jebel Ali Port is one of the busiest ports in the world, handling 13.7 million containers in 2021. Though oil only contributes about 1% to Dubai's GDP, the maritime industry contributes 7%. To compete with Abu Dhabi's raising oil profits, Sheikh went ahead to build a second important asset for the economy of Dubai, which was something called the Free Zone, the agreement for work to start in 1976. In 1985, Dubai developed its first free zone in Jafza, its largest free economic zone globally. Companies from all across the world could set up their business with special privileges. This zone offered a number of benefits and privileges that were not available anywhere else in the world, including 100% foreign ownership. You don't have to collaborate with a local company to set up your business. 100% repatriation of capital and profits. You can send 100% of your profits to your home country. 100% import and export tax exemption. And lastly, 100% exemption F. Ram local and corporate taxes, both. Jafza was launched in 1985 with just 19 companies. Today, Jafza boasts 9,000 registered businesses from 130 countries, 135,000 employees, and $454 billion in trade. This is a 19% year-on-year increase. Plus, Jafza businesses account for 24% of Dubai's foreign direct investments and 21% of Dubai's GDP. Thanks to Jafza, Dubai now has 30 new free economic zones, which account for 21% of Dubai's GDP. Sheikh Rashid never got to see Dubai reach its full potential. He died in 1981 at a relatively young age. However, he managed to lay the foundations for the city he had envisioned. After Sheikh Rashid's death, his son Sheikh Mohammed continued his work. Just like his father, Sheikh Mohammed was obsessed with the idea of turning Dubai into a modern international city. His main inspiration was Daniel Burnham, an American architect and urban designer who is known for planning and designing modern Chicago in the early 20th century. Daniel Burnham was convinced that a city architect had to plan big if they wanted their city to be spoken about. Small and mediocre projects wouldn't get them anywhere. Sheikh Mohammed adopted this approach and decided to make Dubai a city of the biggest and the tallest. In 2000, he introduced Emirates Towers, which were higher than any building in Europe at the time. Although it was an unprecedented urban project for Dubai, it was insignificant for the world where 100-story buildings already existed. In fact, the international media was ridiculing the city's grand investments. So Sheikh Mohammed wanted to build the tallest building in the world. As a result, in 2010 we saw the completion of Burj Khalifa, the tallest skyscraper in the world. Sheikh Mohammed allowed foreigners to own land in Dubai, which quickly turned the city into one of the biggest real estate markets. Billionaires around the world jumped on this new opportunity of owning property in a city free of taxes and restrictions. Dubai became a gigantic construction site. Every architect firm, big or small, was rushing to Dubai, bringing as many architects and engineers as they physically could. It was a construction gold rush in the middle of a desert. The biggest architects from around the world brought their most ambitious projects to Dubai. The real estate boom was so high that 20% of all the cranes in the world operated in Dubai. Today, it is home to the world's largest building, the largest indoor theme park, and a world-class shopping mall. Dubai also boasts some of the most luxurious hotels, resorts, and desert landscapes in the world. With world-renowned shopping destinations, luxurious hotels and resorts, and iconic landmarks, Dubai made a renowned name as a global destination for luxury, extravagance, and excess. With all of these amazing attractions, it's no wonder that Dubai welcomed 11.40 million visitors from Jan to October 2022. With oil reserves estimated to run out by 2029, Dubai is looking to diversify its economy as soon as possible. To attract visitors from all around the globe, they have designed marketing campaigns such as Visit Dubai's international campaigns. These campaigns feature well-known celebrities, such as Shah Rukh Khan and Jessica Alba, to target certain demographics. The main target audiences for these campaigns are India, UK, Saudi Arabia, and Russia. Dubai is also becoming a top international destination for a variety of sports, including football, cricket, tennis, and golf. According to the MasterCard GDCAI report, Dubai is the leading city for overnight international visitors spending and ranks fourth in terms of international top destination cities. Many people think that Dubai's primary source of revenue is still oil, but that story has changed. Now, less than 1% of Dubai's GDP comes from oil, while 95% comes from non-oil-based sources. Tourism alone contributes 20% to Dubai's GDP. So this is how Dubai was able to diversify its economy and become less reliant on oil. They sold oil to fund infrastructure projects. Despite the belief that Dubai is currently rich thanks to oil, the truth is that they also took out loans to build all of these projects. Given that Dubai is built on a desert, the government has a large amount of national debt. Debt burden is a serious problem for Dubai, which could not only lead to a collapse of its national economy, but also cause the end of its status as a tax haven. In 1999, both the national debt as a percentage of GDP and the debt per capita started to increase rapidly. By the beginning of that year, the debt as a percentage of GDP was only 4.82%, but today it is more than 35%. This is a huge problem for Dubai. There are three ways to pay off debt: by raising taxes on citizens, through more debt, as the United States government does when it issues bonds, or by printing money. In the case of Dubai, they cannot pay the debt by printing money since their local economy is priced against the dollar. Additionally, the government cannot issue bonds to pay off old debt, as the Central Bank of the UAE does not allow it. This leaves the Dubai government with no choice but to raise taxes on companies or individuals. This could cause those who moved to Dubai just to avoid paying taxes to start thinking about leaving. Dubai's economy is closely linked to that of the United States. They have their currency pegged to the dollar and generally follow the monetary policy movements of the Federal Reserve. The recent threat of a prolonged economic recession in the United States could cause huge losses in Dubai. While Dubai may be known for its luxurious lifestyle and towering skyscrapers, there is a hidden reality that many people are not aware of. The UAE is home to the world's sixth largest migrant population, with foreigners accounting for more than 95% of the country's residents. These migrant workers hail from Asian countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. The glittering cityscapes of Dubai are built on the blood, sweat, and tears of these workers. Nearly 10,000 workers die in Gulf countries every year due to overwork, psychological stress, hypertension, and heat conditions. Many people fall into debt due to Dubai's flashy lifestyle and high cost of living. BBC's Ben Anderson spent months trying to infiltrate the community of expatriate workers who are putting up the city's gleaming skyscrapers, only to discover that they are almost entirely built on imported slave labor. Expats from countries like Bangladesh and India are drawn to Dubai by promises of a better quality of life, but what they find is a reality of long hours and little pay. They're also charged high visa fees and have their passports confiscated. This leaves them vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. The living conditions for migrant workers in Dubai are often terrible. They're often trapped on the outskirts of the city, in cramped and basic accommodations. More than 5 people may live in one room, with limited access to power. Workers frequently become ill due to the lack of clean water in the camps. The rooms are typically plagued with rodents and insects due to a lack of ventilation. Employees have been obliged to accept whatever wages they are paid by their employers, as the government has refused to intervene in pay regulation or establish minimum working standards for migrant workers. The working conditions for migrant workers in Dubai are extremely oppressive, with little to no legal recourse for filing complaints. Refusal to work can result in deportation or jail time. Workers are often required to work in excessive heat, with temperatures regularly exceeding 50 degrees Celsius. The government closes down tourist attractions during excessive heat waves, but workers are still required to work, resulting in increased suicide rates among the Asian community in Dubai. The repeated tragedies experienced by migrant workers in Dubai have gone largely unnoticed by locals, who have become numb to the issue. According to a reporter for The Guardian, the lack of awareness of the harsh working conditions faced by expatriates makes Dubai appear heartless. It seems that economic expansion is the sole priority for this capitalistic society, and behind the facade of elaborate buildings lies the hidden horror of the reality experienced by migrant workers, which may as well be classified as modern-day slaves. The city is also facing serious soil erosion due to major urban expansion and human activity. There are a number of other serious problems in Dubai, including prostitution, air pollution, noise pollution, and water shortages. Dubai's ecological footprint is unsustainable. The city was built in a desert with no natural sources of water, yet it has grown to become one of the most populous places on Earth. To support its population, Dubai desalinates water from the sea and pumps it into homes and businesses. This process is energy-intensive and emits large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. As a result, water in Dubai is some of the most expensive in the world. In UAE, you can't buy alcohol at supermarkets, but hotel bars will serve champagne by the bottle for over $1,000. If you're thinking of expressing your negative opinions about Dubai on Twitter, you should think again. There's no freedom of speech in Dubai, and everything is controlled. From the way you experience your travel to the media, everything is censored. While Dubai may be an inspirational model for other cities, its methods for attracting and retaining workers must change. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions about Dubai.